Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Eric Devendorf, your host of the Scores Table podcast. This week, we have an awesome guest on, former Syracuse shooting guard and now Utah Jazz shooting guard, Elijah Hughes. But before we get to the podcast, I want to tell you guys about DraftKings. The 2021 basketball season is here. The teams around the league took the offseason to retool and revamp and are ready to hit the court. DraftKings Sportsbooks, America's top-rated sportsbook app, has rolled out another one of their can't-miss offers. Trying DraftKings Sportsbook is easy, so what are you waiting for? Get in on all of the action now. To celebrate the return of basketball, DraftKings Sportsbook is giving new players 100-to-1 odds on any featured matchup this week. That's right. All you have to do is bet $1 on any featured matchup this week, and if your team wins, you cash a crisp $100. While we are all excited for the return of basketball, let's not forget about football's playoffs are right around the corner. So head to the app now to check out all of the DraftKings daily odds boosts. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable, making it easy for you to deposit and withdraw your money at your convenience. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code Field68 when you sign up to get 100-to-1 odds on any featured matchup this week. That's code Field68 for new players to get a shot at $100 on any featured matchup this week. For a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbooks. Must be 21 or older, New Jersey, Indiana, or Pennsylvania only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbooks for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or in Indiana, 1-800-9-WITH-IT. Now let's get on to the podcast. Hey, everyone. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Scores Table podcast on Apple, Spotify, and anywhere else you can get your podcasts. We're going to talk with Elijah Hughes soon, but first, me and my producer, Tim, are going to break down a little bit of the recent SU game versus Boston College.
Big bounce back for Gerard. I was pumped to see him start making some shots there. And I know we talked about a little bit last time we were doing this, how it was probably just, him getting into his groove a little bit, but it's good to see the coach sort of stuck with him through some tough times. And now it seems like he got that good game under his belt and he's ready to rock and roll.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know how Cuse fans are. They want it right away. You're right. They don't, the first game that you're messing up, they're trying to pull the plug on you. But like I talked about earlier, man, coach with his proven players especially, and Joe proved himself last year as a freshman. He's going to give you that leash. He's going to let you make mistakes. And it's early, man. This is 5 games into the season, and Joe really struggled. He struggled maybe 3 of them, and a couple of them, he played okay. But this last game is the reason why you can't lose confidence in a guy like that. You know what I mean? He came out, played really good on not only offensive end of the floor, but the defensive end of the floor as well. And that's really what propelled us to the win, a big win. The guards kept the guys in front of them. They didn't let them penetrate in the lane. You saw against Rutgers, not only Joe, but the guards up top really struggled with keeping guys in front of them. And obviously he got back to his patented jump shot where you seen him shooting beyond NBA three-point.
He was pulling. Yeah, it was cool to see.
And when you do that, that's when the confidence is there. And that's all it takes, man. 1 or 2 shots going down like that, and now you're energized. Now you're playing well on the other end. So, I'm just glad. And I knew it. I knew Coach wasn't going to lose his confidence in Joe. And I'm glad that he stuck with him. And I'm glad Joe had a great game.
It seems like, there's kind of 2 ways of thinking. And I know a lot of people will say coach has a short leash, and they point to other players that have come through the program recently that have kind of they've transferred out or whatever. Why do you think that coach is like, okay, I'm going to ride with Joe, and some other players maybe, like, what do you think gets you back on the bench with Coach Boeheim? Is it turnovers? Is it something in particular? Because I think a lot of fans like myself are trying to wrap our head around why some guys maybe on paper it appears have a shorter leash than some other guys, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, we talked about it. I mean, Joe proved himself the whole year last year. I mean,
yeah.
First of all, he exceeded expectations as a freshman. Nobody expected him to come in and, have games of 20-plus points in multiple games and then average, almost 12 and a half as a freshman. So he was proven. He proved himself to coach. And then as far as like taking Joe out, like who are you going to put in? Obviously, he's a great player and he's going to get his chance. I love Kadari. He's one of my favorite players on the team. But as a team camaraderie and morale, you can't just pull the plug from your starting point guard. And this is a freshman guy. Like there's 5 games in the season, right? So he's playing good, but we really haven't even gotten to the really grinded out part of the schedule, so to speak. You know what I mean? So Kadari's great. He really hasn't proven himself yet. He still has to tighten up his jump shot. Obviously, he's super, super poised for a freshman. But I just think what Coach likes is he likes a guy that's going to play through those mistakes. He's not going to put his head down. And even in the beginning of the season, the first couple of games, you could see Joe's body language wasn't really there. But again, like this year is different, right? It's a lot of different factors that are coming into play. Like, okay, we had to quarantine for 14 days. We didn't practice for 20 days, So guys their rhythm was off, the shot was off. And it wasn't just him. It was a lot of players throughout college basketball. You know what I mean? And obviously, the Syracuse fans are going to pinpoint, oh, this guy isn't doing this and isn't doing that. But, I think Joe, he's going to continue to fight. I mean, that's what he is. He's a competitor, man. Like, and competitors don't quit. They don't give up. And Coach knows that with Joe. You know what I mean? That's why he let him play through it. And even when he was struggling with the game against, I think it was Bryant, and he was struggling. Yeah, he hit 2 big shots. He had enough confidence in himself to still shoot the ball and make those shots. So, and then obviously the great performance he had last game against Boston College. So, and Joe's going to be fine, man. We don't got to worry about that.
And it doesn't have to be Kadari or Joe. Like some fans were like, oh, I'm ready to get Kadari in there. Let's start him. Like if this team's going to get to its ceiling, which, I think after BC, we saw what they can be on offense. And when they're clicking on offense, this is a special Syracuse offensive team. We'll just have to see if they can prove it against a bigger team, rebounding wise and defense wise. But if Kadari's playing well and Joe are playing well, that's the dream scenario, having both of them playing well. And then you can bring Kadari off the bench. And I think that's where they have a little bit of another layer this year is Kadari at the top of the zone, getting some steals and deflections.
No, absolutely. And like you said, we know we can score the ball. We've been doing that for the past, 2, 3, 4 years. We're scoring the ball. What we really were lacking was defensively, right? We're letting teams shoot too many threes and then make too many threes. We weren't there. We weren't aware where the shooters are. And this game versus Boston College was it was good to see like the activeness and people moving on defense and talking and communicating, not letting people drive the lanes. And look, those guys are going to make each other better. Like Kadari is going to make Joe better. Joe can make Kadari better. Kadari can make Buddy better, and so on. You know what I mean? So those guys can feed off each other, and we need everyone. We can't say, we just need Joe or we just need Kadari or we need all those guys. And like you said, Woody's coming in. He's contributing. He's getting rebounds. I think every game he's had at least 9 points and 5 rebounds in limited minutes. And the biggest thing that I see with this team is no one on the team is scared. And you don't see that a lot, right? Especially from young guys, right? You don't see guys just coming in there and just letting it fly without hesitation, without looking over their shoulder. And Coach Boeheim likes that. He's not going to tell you that, but he likes when guys play like that with no fear. And you can see it. And I think that's a lot of the reason why he's letting these young guys play, because they have no fear.
Yeah, Woody comes in, first shot, he just launched a 3 and made it. And, Boeheim was praising him a ton in the postgame afterwards, which I know sometimes with the freshman, he's quick to point out some faults, but I think he really likes what he's seeing from Woody. And how could you not? I mean, I think he's going to be a big part of the rotation going forward.
A big part of it. And like you said, he came in, shot it right, but it wasn't a bad shot. It's not like he's not taking bad shots. He's taking open shots. And that's what we want you to do. If you can shoot the ball, we want you to shoot the ball, especially if you're open, right? And he's not only making shots, but he's getting rebounds. He's making plays defensively. He's a guy you can put at the top. He's a guy you can move down to the bottom. So he's real versatile. And in that zone, we need versatility, right? We need guys who we can move around. And this year, it seems like, Coach is going, well, he has to kind of because it's a different year, but he's going deeper into the bench. But that brings more value to our team because now, like we said, with this year, you never know what happens. The guy might get the virus or something might happen, and now you got to go to this guy. But these guys had that valuable experience in the beginning of the season, so they're going to be ready going down the line. So I like it that these guys are playing early, and I'm looking forward to seeing their progression.
Before we get to Elijah, real quick, I want to ask you, do you think this team has a higher ceiling than recent Syracuse teams? And how good do you think they can be if they shore up some of this defensive stuff that we were talking about?
I think that, yeah, they definitely have a high ceiling. I think the biggest thing is we know they can score, but can they get stops defensively? And it all really starts up top with the guards. You know, we got to be able to keep guys in front of us. If we can keep guys in front of us, now they're just passing the ball around the perimeter and they're kind of playing into what we want. You know, now they're shooting long threes. Are they going to make some? Yeah, but we're playing the percentages. So the biggest thing we really want to focus on defense, rebounding, and then once we do those two things, we can really push the pace. And you know, Syracuse basketball is about pushing the pace, getting out in transition, and get easy buckets. And you know, I think these last couple games we've really been able to do that. I think we had like 24 fast break points, and then we had 22 last game. Rutgers game we struggled a little bit, but those are the things we really need to do: is defend, get on the boards, and then be able to try to get out, push the pace, get easy buckets. I think if we do that, then you know, this team has the potential to be a really good team. Looking forward to seeing what the team does the rest of the year. Now let's get into our interview with Elijah Hughes. All right, so let's get right into it. You were just drafted 39th pick by the Utah Jazz. You actually just played your first preseason game where you had 9 points in 12 minutes. Tell me, first of all, you coming from a small city in Beacon, what did it mean to you to get drafted, but what did it mean to the community as well? And I watched you get drafted. I saw how emotional it was, you with your family. Kind of, you know, take me through that whole process right there, how that felt and what it meant to you.
Oh man, it was the greatest day of my life, like easily, like without a doubt. And you know, for everybody back home in Beacon, like it was a very emotional day for them as well. Being that, you know, I'm the first kind of to ever do it, to make it out. So it was just a great day, like a day I'll never forget. Tons of emotion, you know, I still kind of get chills, you know, now I just think about it. And it was just all in all just a great day.
So take me to that moment though. Tell me a little bit more about it. Like leading up to that, I know, you know, you watching the draft, the first round go by, a little bit of the second round go by. What's going through your mind? You know what I mean? You're sitting there with your family.
Yeah.
What are you feeling?
So, you know, the first 30 picks go by, right? And I'm back and forth with my agent, like, yo, what's going on? Like, there's no way there's 30 dudes better than me in this draft. You know, just I was honestly, I was upset. Like, I was pissed. Like, I was like, yo, listen, like, what's going on? And then he was like, don't worry, like, you're gonna be fine. Like, and he said, I agree, there's not 30 people better than you, but you know, everyone moving around with trades happening really quick and all this kind of stuff in the draft. That's what kind of made it hard for me to get into the first round, I would say. Just because the trades happening really quick, you know, all this, that, the third happening. So I'm just in there waiting. So it got to around like the 34th pick, and I'm hitting it up. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Like, I'm really getting upset now. Like, there's no way, like, I should be falling this far, whatever. And he's just telling me, calm down. Like, and even my family could tell, you know, I'm starting to get distance from everybody. I'm not like talking to nobody no more. I'm kind of sitting away. I'm like, everybody leave me alone, like, kind of vibe. And they could sense that from me. I actually had left my little gathering for a little while. I just went outside, took a walk. You know, I just wanted to cool down a little bit. And then I was sitting actually in where we had our event at, in like a hotel lobby. I was just sitting there chilling. And my agent called me. He said, get in the seat because you're about to get picked. And I was like, my heart just kind of stopped. My heart just stopped. I was nervous. I was scared. And then he told me, you're drafted to New Orleans, but they're trading it to Utah. So get the Utah hat ready. So when the commissioner came up and said my name, it was just kind of like all the emotions just came out, and it was just like, it was just so raw, and it was just, I don't know, I literally get chills like down my spine thinking about it now. So it was just unbelievable.
No, I remember watching you. I remember you just putting your head down, and your mom and dad were right there just consoling you. I mean, just an unbelievable moment for you, for your family, and in the community. You talked about the community a little bit. You know, tell me about growing up in Beacon. It's a small community. You were actually born in Poughkeepsie, right?
Yeah, I was born in Poughkeepsie.
Born in Poughkeepsie, but grew up in Beacon. Were you always like the man growing up as far as basketball? Was there like a rival you had growing up in Beacon, or what?
I mean, yeah, there was a bunch, you know, park rivals. I had some of my best friends, but, you know, when we got on the court, we weren't best friends no more. So, you know, that's just how it was all growing up. But other than that, I don't think nobody in Beacon can mess with me. That's how I've always been growing up. When I was younger, I would say about 11 or 12, I was playing with the older guys in our Loopers Summer League Park. We played Beacon Hoops. I made All-Star playing that at the young age. So ever since then, I've had the confidence that like no one, especially my age group, could mess with me. And I just did things that people couldn't do. So I've always thought I was a man.
So the crazy thing is, I did my research. I gotta look a couple things up about you. But since the 8th grade, you were bringing the ball up. So you were always like comfortable at that point position. And I know you dominated at Beacon, and then you went to Catholic school. I think it was just outside the city. But then your junior year, right? But then you go to South Kent. So your first time kind of really being away from home, right? And kind of being by yourself. I know how that prep environment is. In South Kent, they're known for some hoopers. So kind of tell me about leaving home for the first time and that transition to South Kent, and how did that help you, prep for college?
Right. When I first left after my sophomore year, I'm gonna be honest with you, like I hated it. Like it was just bad. Like school was just so much more harder because of the curriculum at a Catholic private school. It was much more further. So like I was waking up every day around 5:30 and not seeing my bed again until like 9 p.m. at night. That's just how it was every single day. So I really didn't have time for my friends to hang out and just be a 16-year-old, 17-year-old kid. So, but looking back at it, I'm glad I did it. The best decision of my life was to leave and just focus in on what I need to do academically and on the court. Now on the court, we had a great season. We were 26-2. We lost in the state championship. I started to get some, college offers and recruitment started to pick
You had
up.
40. No, I don't mean to interrupt you, but that was against Janesville. You had 42, right?
Yeah, that was that summer going to Kennedy. That summer before.
Okay. My mistake. Go ahead. Sorry.
So, yeah, if you want to go back to that, against Jimmy, I had one of my better games in my career, and Coach Boeheim happened to be watching. And at that time, I was already committed to East Carolina. So, it's just crazy how things work out. And, yeah, I remember that game pretty vividly, pretty well.
So after prep school at South Kent, you go to East Carolina. So why, you're a talented dude, and I'm not saying East Carolina is a bad school to go to. What was that process like, or for you picking East Carolina? What happened there?
I mean, a lot of schools, saw some of my grades and didn't want to continue to recruit me because they didn't know how it pan out, which is fine, respectfully. I didn't have the best grades coming out of high school. And then also I was hurt a little bit during my high school year. So it was just hard for schools to really figure out. And also the biggest thing I think was AAU. I didn't play for a high major AAU team. I didn't play on the circuit, so that was really, really big for me because I needed to pass my SAT. So, during the AAU times, I was taking the time to SAT prep, taking classes, doing what I need to do to get ready for that. Because, without that, there's no college. So I just had to focus in on that. And then, ECU was the school that pretty much stuck with me through it all.
Right. So the biggest thing though now that kids, like if you don't play AAU, it's tough for a lot because that's where all the college coaches is. And like you said, if you would have played AAU, it would have been a whole different. Exactly. It would have been a whole different ballgame. You would have had the Cuses on you right away.
Exactly.
Talk about that first year at Eastern Carolina because you didn't have a bad year. You know what I'm saying? You came in as a freshman. I think you averaged like 8 and 4, but you were really injured. Right. Like for up and down, it was an up and down year. You were hurt. So kind of tell me about that year and, some of the pros and cons, how it helped you and, what you learned from that year.
Right. And I think you hit it, right on the nail. Is just that it was up and down. It was a roller coaster. I came in with high expectations. I was ready to go from jump. And then my second game in, I'd injured my foot. So I missed about 8 or 9 games. We had a coaching switch middle of the season. A lot of these things just went downhill after I got hurt. So, and then when I came back, I was never fully in shape. I could never really find it again. I wasn't moving as fast. I wasn't jumping as high. So, and also, the worst part was we were losing games. And, how competitive I am. I hate to lose. So that was, I'm away from home. I'm a kid who loves where I'm from. I'm away from home. I don't want to be this far, losing games and, that kind of thing. So it just wasn't, I didn't feel like it was the right fit for me at the time. So, I decided to, and then it's the culture kind of stuff, it's not nothing against East Carolina. They're actually playing really good basketball right now, but at the time, it just wasn't for me. And, I decided to, move on, and nothing personal, nothing the coaches were doing, nothing that the coaches weren't doing. It was just a decision I had to make for myself.
So following you decided to transfer, and I remember you coming up to Cuse on your visit with your pops.
Yeah.
I remember meeting you. I think that was been my first year on staff.
Yeah.
But the two schools that it came down to, it was Seton Hall and Cuse, right?
For sure.
So what was really that deciding factor for you to choose Cuse?
To be honest with you, like, it was never really Seton Hall and Cuse. It was really just Seton Hall. Like, I was going to Seton Hall. I had knew Coach Shaheen Holloway from the time that we was at South Kent. He was coming to see Miles Powell at the time, and me and him just kind of built a relationship. So honestly, like, the first person I called in the whole recruitment process ready to transfer was Shaheen Holloway. I pretty much told him, I was like, listen, like, just get me on the visit, let me talk to Coach, and we'll go from there. I don't really need to do all the, go to a party and go out to dinner, all that kind of stuff. I just wanted to know where I was going next. So it was Seton Hall, and then actually the night I started packing my stuff at East Carolina, like, I was packing my room up, my dorm, Coach Archer gave me a call, and he was like, listen, like, Coach was on us from the time he seen you, what you do to Jimmy, and now he said we can't let you go this time. And so we're going to get you up on a visit, talk to Coach. And I was just kind of like, listen, like, I'm going to give you a call back. I'm pretty much, going to Seton Hall, and I'm pretty much, that's where I'm going. But I'm going to let you know what it is. And then I called him back a couple of days later, because my parents were like, listen, just give it go on a visit. I've always been a fan of Syracuse. I've always liked, like, the orange, even the time you was there, like, just the history of the orange men. And, I went on a visit, and then I had to make that call to Shaheen Holloway, like, listen, child, like, I'm going to Syracuse. So it was just, everything worked out perfectly.
What did he say?
He was upset with me. He was really upset with me because we kind of built a relationship. But, he still checks up on me. He's one of my guys, good dude. He got a head coaching job now at St. Peter's, so I'm happy for him. He checks up on me every now and then. So he was upset with me at the time, but, it was all love.
No, Coach, you had to come to Cuse. You gave Coach Boeheim, you gave his son 45, so he was like, nah, we can't let you go to Seton Hall, man. We got to let you get it. You can't do my son like that. So, okay, so you come to Cuse, you have the redshirt year, you sit out. And I remember, redshirt year, that was fun for me, bro. Just watching you. Sure. Because not only did I get to help work you out and watch you work out, I got to get into it with you. We got to go ahead and play. I remember playing 5-on-5 and 2-on-2, and I'm not gonna say the win-loss because I don't want to hurt your feelings and all that. But but I just remember you progressing, bro. Like, I just remember, like, watching you work out and talk. And me and G-Mac will talk, in his office about it. And I just remember telling him, I said, man, he getting better, man. And, like, he want to be in the gym. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's guys who are, they're good, they're talented, but do you really want to get better and be in the gym? And you were one of those dudes. And I feel like that year really helps you, propel you to what you became at Syracuse. Tell me, like, what that year really did for you, just sitting out, being able to watch how the zone works, being able to see how Coach Boeheim coach, and then, being able to go through those workouts with GMAC. And how did that help you that year?
Right. Well, it was tough mentally because, every 18-year-old kid, that has the opportunity to play basketball wants to play basketball. So it was hard mentally not being able to play in games, when I was having really good practices, sometimes just the best player in practice, in my opinion. But I think those game days, when we played 5-on-5 for about 2.5 hours, that was fun. I had so much fun. Like, we got to compete, and I took my competitiveness to another level. Like, I think you and Jerry, when y'all would team up, y'all would just bring a different competitiveness out of me that I was every day like, nah, they're not getting none today. They're not getting nothing. I'm trying to hard. They're not getting nothing. Like, so y'all bought that out of me. So going into the year, I was able to play. Like, I was just like, nah, we're not losing today, fellas. Like, it's not happening. So that's what helped me. And then just being around you guys every day, being able to pick your brain. We'd be playing 5-on-5 in some situations, and you guys would just stop me and tell me what read I can make in a pick and roll, or just little things like that. So that helped me a ton to slow the game down. And then from Coach Boeheim, from watching how he coached, just being able to be a sponge, that was the year that we made a Sweet 16 run. We were playing really good defense. And so I was just watching guys, how they moved, how they closed out, all this kind of stuff in the zone. I just wanted to be, you know, perfect at it when it was my time. You know, I didn't want him to be able to say, you know, you had a year off and you didn't learn anything kind of thing. So I just wanted to, you know, try to perfect it as much as I could just by watching. And then offensively, you know, like I said, you and GMAC, we were watching film. We were breaking down on the court with our workouts and 5-on-5. So it was just a year for me. And I just got to focus in with Ryan on my body, what I was eating, and then getting the best shape of my life.
And that's another thing too. Like when you came in, you had that Paul Pierce body a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and not trying to be, you know what I mean? But you really slimmed down and really toned up, because you're already a strong dude. You know what I mean? Big shoulder, broad shoulders, but you really took time and not just put it on your body, but like how you ate.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I remember, like, and that's why you are a professional right now. How you took that year to learn the system, you know, to learn from myself and GMAC, and then to get your body right and then learn how to eat right. Like not a lot of kids do that, man. They just think they can go out on the floor and that's what it is, right?
Exactly. And that's one of the biggest things, like even now, like just watching these guys, like, you know, Joe Ingles and, you know, Donovan Mitchell's, is how they take care of themselves. Like it's crazy. It's crazy how it all just plays a huge part. Like we can have a 40-minute shoot around, and then these guys are still in the gym for another 2 hours with treatments and recovery and all that kind of stuff, just to make sure that they're doing everything they possibly can to help themselves.
82 games. That's a lot of games, bro. A lot of travel. So
A lot of games.
You ready for it, though. You ready for it.
Exactly, man. I'm
so
ready.
the first year you get to play, now you averaged 13, probably 4 rebounds, 3 assists, but the ball was in more so Tyus' hands, right?
Mm-hmm.
More so Tyus, and I think O'Shea was on the team as well, right?
Yep. Tyus, O'Shea.
So like, right, and Frank. So like you were one of the guys, but I would probably say Tyus was the guy that year, right? If somebody had the ball in their hands at the end of the game, it was going to be him. But that second year, it was you. Like you come out, first team All-ACC, you average 20 points. You're one of the best players in the country. You on fire from 3-point line. You know what I'm saying? What was that like for you, going from, I don't want to say role player, but it was, like I said, Tyus was kind of the main guy. And that's nothing, no knock on you. But what was it from that year to the next year where, like, you were the man, like, and you had it, like, you were the focal point every single game for the defense? You know what I mean? Right. Did you love that pressure? Did you want that? Or what was that like for you, transitioning from role player to star player?
Right. You know, I think one of my biggest skills, and I think it really is a skill, is the ability to adapt. It's something that I can pick up quick. It doesn't take long for me. And going back to what you said earlier, I've always felt comfortable with the ball in my hands, playing with the ball, making plays with the ball. So it was nothing really new to me. It was just more of a mindset, like, yo, I got to make sure, like, I'm him tonight. I'm that guy tonight. This past season, rather than, you know, making sure that I was a guy who spread the floor and made shots, but I was a guy who had the ball in their hands, you know, end the game situations, or, you know, just making big time plays. So it was just more of a mindset. You know, I'm going into it, and I knew that we were going to be losing 4 of our 5 starters. That talk me and Coach had in May going into it. You know, he said, you know, the keys are mine. I got to be ready for that, and be ready to be the guy to take tough twos and make tough plays and play 40 minutes. So I knew it all going into it was what it was going to be like.
So I know what it does for me, but when a coach tell you something like that, like, hey, you got the keys, what's that do for your confidence, man? Like going in, like right when he said that to you, what was your feeling?
It was just like, just get ready. Man, we hooping now. Like, we just hooping. So don't worry about missing 4 in a row. Don't get in your own head, because you got to shoot that next shot. Like, you can't think about it. Like, if you miss 5 in a row, you can't be like, dang, I just missed 5 in a row. Nah, it's just like, nah, I'm going to knock down this 6th one. So that's just the mindset it was for me. So we just hooping now. Let's go have fun and just do what you do and go be the killer that you are. That's kind of the conversation I have with myself.
And coach really let you do that too, right? Like, he knows, like, if you're the man, like, he gonna let you go ahead and play through those mistakes. And like you said, if you miss a few shots, like, you can't get down on yourself, because now when he see you get down on yourself, now he's like, oh damn, that ain't the guy that I want. You know what I'm saying? Like, he gonna let you do you, and you did a great job of really just playing through that whole year, because it was a lot of ups and downs, right? Like, it wasn't a perfect season, but let's talk about, like, towards the end. So now we get in the ACC tournament versus North Carolina. We dominate, right? You in kill mode, and this is kind of the game that we using to propel us to really make a run to get into the tournament. Exactly. But then COVID happens. How disappointed were you guys? How disappointed were you? But how disappointed were you guys as a team? Because we were really rolling right there.
Oh man, I was like, even now thinking about it, I just get really angry. I just get really upset because we were playing our best. We played our best basketball, all season. Our last game before COVID against North Carolina, we were hitting on all cylinders on offense and defense. Guys were hyped. We were playing with a chip on our shoulder. Like, it was just everything was going well at the right time, and then boom, a world pandemic happens that we had no control over, and then we have to shut down the whole season. So it was very, very, very frustrating. And then, with me, I had to make a decision. It was just very frustrating because I didn't want to go out like that, leaving school like that. So I was really, really upset. Just really, really upset.
And then, so after that game, did you know kind of how long after that game to where like, all right, I think I'm going, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was kind of I'm not going to say an easy decision because I was really upset. I felt like there was more stuff I needed to do. But, after my talk with Coach, he pretty much said, listen, like, if you need me for anything, just let me know. And then pretty much when he said that, it's not really he's a Hall of Fame coach. He's been doing this for years. He knows what it is. So it was not really much for me more to think about after he told me that. And, he's just been in my corner ever since. So it's probably basically, I'd say like not even a month.
So basically that was his way of saying like, do what you got to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So talking about Coach, give me one of your, first of all, what was it like playing for Coach? And then if you can, give me one of your best Boeheim impressions, or just give me one of your favorite stories about Coach, whether it's in the game, locker room, practice, whatever it is. You got one. I know you do. I was there, so I can't think of them right off top, but I know we got some.
Well, first of all, playing for Coach was a dream come true. Like I said, I grew up admiring you guys, you, Johnny Flynn's, Deion Waiters, all you guys. I grew up watching you guys, and I really enjoyed it. Like, it was my childhood. Watching you shoot that shot against UConn, I didn't count, standing on the scores table. I was doing that. I remember I was standing on scores tables, getting texts, acting a fool when I was a kid. I remember all that. So, it was inspired from you, all you guys. So, just to be able to say that, I'm one of the guys who played for Coach Boeheim, had a really, in my opinion, good career playing with him. It's a dream come true and something I'll never take for granted and I'll never forget. And there's a million Coach Boeheim stories I have, but probably the one that sticks out to me, we were playing, I think my first year playing, we were playing Old Dominion. We had lost. They had beat us, actually. We were playing Old Dominion at the Dome. And it was halftime. I was like 0 for 6. I wasn't playing well at all. And Coach was like, he said something like, looks like we're playing 4-on-5 with Elijah out there, something silly like that. And it's hard for me to kind of keep things in when it's funny. So I remember I was sitting there like with my jersey over my face like this, head down, and I think he seen me laugh a little bit, and he brought me to the side after and was like, "Listen, like, you just got to get going, get yourself going, In the Boeheim voice, you know how he says, just get yourself going, get yourself moving, you're fine, that kind of thing. So, yeah, just like that. And so we ended up losing, but it was just like a moment I'll never forget what he said. It was pretty much like 4-on-5 when I was out there because I was pretty much not doing anything or helping the team.
So do you remember the game we played St. John's, and it was at the Dome, and we lost. I think we lost. It might have been your redshirt year, but we lost by like a lot, and they started booing us.
Oh no,
they were booing us, and then
that was the year before I got there. Yeah, that was the year before I got there. Yeah.
I'm tripping. Okay, well, scratch all that. But I remember, bro. So he took us back to after the game. Yeah. Took us back to the Mello Center and made these guys practice again.
I remember that. I remember everyone talking about that. Like, that was the craziest thing that they've experienced. I think Tyus. I remember Tyus telling us, like, he thought that was going to happen against Old Dominion, but we lost to them. But they lost to St. John's. I think Shamari went off, and they lost by like 30 or something like that. And then they had practice that same night in Mello.
Shamari and Marcus Lovett.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Marcus Lovett, the left hand. Yep. So you were at Cuse 3 years, played 2 years. You had some great moments in the Cuse uniform, but give me your most memorable moment. It doesn't have to be a game, it could be whatever. What's the most memorable moment you had in a Cuse jersey?
Honestly, I got a couple. I'm gonna share a couple, but my
do all that.
favorite. So we're playing Georgetown at the Dome 2 years ago, and it's the game that Tyus made that shot to seal the deal to win the game. But originally in the huddle, coach said that because they knew that they were going to double Tyus because he was having a big second half, so he knew that they were going to throw 2 at Tyus. So he was like, "E, go run up, get the ball, and you come down and make a play." So I was like, "Bet, like we're gonna live and die with my shot." All right, say no more. So, I remember I ran up to get the ball. I caught it. I took a few dribbles. I see Tyus just sprinting like over me to get the ball. So I was like, "Man, like, what are you doing? Like, get down the floor." But he was open, so I was like, "You know what? I can't do this." So I gave it to him. I just ran down the court, and he made the play he did. But originally, that play was supposed to be me. That he played me.
Oh, that,
yeah, that was supposed to be me. But he made the shot. I was happy for him. And I was happy he won. And it was just a good time. Like I remember being really, really excited. But that was supposed to be.
But
me.
that was your shot, though. That was you, though, E.
That was my shot. But he wanted it. He was having a big second half, so I just was like, "Here, you got it." So that was one of the biggest moments. And then the next one was when we beat Duke in Cameron Indoor, and I made that 3-quarter shot. I think coach just said, he did one of these like, so I just ran, got the ball, I threw it, and, it went really, really high, and it just, it went in. So that was a moment I'll never forget. I remember looking around, everybody's faces were, just in shock. And then us winning the game was huge as well. I remember us being super excited. We had beaten the number 1 team in the country. Pascal played really well. He had about 18 boards and like 16 points, 18 boards, something like that. O'Shea came alive in the second half. Frank came alive in the second half. Tyus had like 30. I had like 20. So it was just a great game, like all around. Like dudes were just stepping up, making big time plays, big time shots. And it was just a game I'll never forget. Like in that environment, how loud it was, how much everyone was rooting against us, and we came out with a victory was something I'll never forget. And then
because that gym is go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. And then probably lastly, the year I wasn't able to play, my first year there, we made a Sweet 16 run. We beat Michigan State to go to the
16.
Yeah, to go to the Sweet 16. We beat Michigan State. It was in Detroit too, at Little Caesars.
Yeah.
And it was pretty much a home game for them. It was pretty much a home base for them. They had a home crowd. Everyone was there. We came out with a win, and we played unbelievable defense. We exposed some of their guys, some of their top guys. I don't want to say any names, but we kind of shut a lot of guys out. And, now I wasn't
Cassius
playing.
Winston.
Yeah, Cassius Winston. I don't want to say no names. I'm not putting nobody out there.
I was on staff. I remember. I was on staff. I remember. So you can say. I'll say it.
You go ahead. Hey, I don't want to get caught up. You go ahead.
Yeah, Cassius Winston. We locked that up for sure. All that.
And then I remember I was able to travel that year, like not that year, but for the tournament, so it let me travel. So I was sitting with the family and friends, and there's actually a picture of like Tyus running on the court, and you could see me in the background, like just me mugging with him. So there's a picture out there somewhere. But he may have made a big time shot to pretty much seal the deal or go up by 4 or something like with a minute left. So just Tyus being Tyus, and I was really excited. So I didn't play, but like just to run in the locker room after that and just celebrate with the guys, like it was just great. It was unbelievable, and I was super happy and proud to be a part of that team for sure.
And I don't know if you saw the video, but it was a video that went viral. It was me, Kip, G-Mac, and Red. Right when we were going to the locker room, G-Mac just comes and he just starts going, huh, huh. Like we start chest bumping, and then Red come in, we start chest bumping, and then everybody, I don't know where you at, but I just remember that video went viral for a second. Like that was a big win, bro.
I think I remember seeing that somewhere.
Yeah, that was a big win, like you said. Michigan State, basically, it was a home game for them.
Exactly.
It was a home game.
A lot of fun. And then just traveling every day. Like that team is honestly some of my best friends. Like we like O'Shea, Kai, we all like Tyus. We all like best friends. We talk on a daily. So just being around them and playing the game we all love was just like something I'm never gonna take for granted. Never gonna take for granted.
Kai's back. Kai's back.
Yeah, I talk to Kai every now and then. He's back with a grad assistant job, and I'm happy for him. He's doing what he loves, so I'm just really happy for him.
How cool is it now, though? Like you mentioned O'Shea, now you guys get to play against each other in the league. So he's with Toronto, you're with Utah. Obviously, you're going to take that East Coast trip sometime. How cool is that to be able to, play at Cuse and now you get to play against each other in the league? You guys talk about that?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I was just on the phone the other day. We weren't talking about this, but we were just talking about like this little NBA lifestyle thing like that and how to just maneuver through. But we talked about before, like, we went from being roommates on the South Campus on Farm Acre to now being, guys that don't like each other on the court anymore, but still best friends. So it's crazy how it just works out and it just pans out, and it's really just crazy and also just a blessing.
And then going from having to eat at Kimmel and Goldstein to go ahead and you paying that bill for it.
Yeah.
That's a fact. So, okay, so you spent 3 years at Cuse. You were on campus 3 years. You played 2. You got to experience that Carrier Dome crowd. You got to experience the fans off the court. Tell me, like, how the Syracuse fans were, what the community means to you, because, like, Syracuse fans is different, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they travel. Like, you see, even like when we played Michigan State, you said it was a home game, but we had our little orange section. What is the Syracuse community mean to you, and give me like a crazy fan experience you had off the court?
Syracuse has my heart, man. The whole city has my heart. I got orange in my blood, literally. I watch every Cuse game I can when I get a chance, if I have time. Men's, women's, whatever it is. I just love Cuse is in my blood, honestly. And it means the world. Like, I want to come back and, one day do something with Coach Boeheim with a camp or something like that, like how you do your stuff. I love how the way you do your things. And I want to maybe we could even collab and do something, one day. And that's
come on, man. You already know. That's already done.
I would love to do something like that, just to get back to the community, because all the love and support they've given me, that's the least I could do. But yeah, I kind of just get chills. It's crazy because, like, Syracuse took in a small town kid from Beacon, New York, and just gave him a chance, and they loved him, and I just gave him nothing but love back. So I love that place, and the fan base is unbelievable. I can go to Walmart to get a few groceries, and a 15-minute trip will turn into an hour just from taking pictures and signing autographs, which is fun. Like, I love it. It was awesome. It's just a dream come true. So Syracuse has my heart. Always be orange for sure.
And it's gonna be like that forever. Like, now when you come back, you gonna, instead of spending that hour, it's gonna be 2 hours.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So look, okay, we'll have a little bit of fun real quick. I'm gonna name a couple names, and I just want you to describe them for me in a few words. Okay. Mm-hmm. Coach McNamara.
Killer, just like a competitive killer. Somebody who wants to rip your head off, and whatever it is, it could be a game of Uno, be a game of one-on-one. Whatever, it could be his kids. He wants to kill his kids probably, but he's just a killer, competitive person.
What about like all the times like spot shooting? And I remember like after practice, he like him and Kai going at it like you said. GMAC is like a real live competitor. Like, even though he coaching, he old now. Like, that dude don't want to lose.
Exactly. I remember actually a couple times us playing pickup. This dude is hobbling, limping. His Achilles was hurting him. I'm like, dude, just go sit down. Like, it's cool. Like, it's all right. But he just wants to keep competing. That's what he loves to do. So that's why he's like the ultimate competitor in me.
So, quick question. I do want to touch back on it. What is our overall record for the 5-on-5? What is it, bro?
I would say y'all
I know it. But I just want, what is it? I want you. What is it?
I just want to know. Y'all got the up on me for sure, but it's not too far. Like, if it's y'all got 12 wins, I got 10 wins. It ain't too far. Y'all got it.
Oh, dang! Like, shit, we played a lot more than that.
I'm just saying, like, in the grand scheme, like, if y'all got 30 wins, I got 27, 28. So that's what it is.
Okay.
I had y'all.
All right, you had them days where you was letting that thing go, no question. That's a fact.
For sure.
Coach Red.
That's my guy, Coach Red. Man.
He recruited you. He was your. That was the.
I call him Doc Rivers, man. First, he looks like Doc Rivers, and he's just like, and he's a guru. Like he's just a genie. And that dude that's my guy. So definitely Doc Rivers, good, great coach.
Look, you look at Red. He's talking about he got a haircut. You be like, no, what you get a haircut?
I don't know, that dude.
He got a hair. You see that line though? You can just see it if you get right up close.
He gets a line. Crazy, man.
Yeah, you hit it on the head, Doc Rivers, dog. That's Doc Rivers, bro.
For real, no, for real.
Buddy Boeheim.
Sniper. Can shoot the ball and stretch the floor. It makes my job easier if I'm in one-on-one because it's literally a one-on-one if he's in the corner. So just as somebody that can really snipe it and shoot the ball.
And I think you like when you play with a guy like that, when a guy plays with a guy like you, like that makes him better, right? Like his confidence, like when he sees you doing the stuff on the court, like I think just watching him, like you made him a lot better, bro. Just because when you see a guy having that success, it's like I got to work hard. I'm trying to get to that. You know what I mean? Like you got to understand the impact that you had on not only him and Joe, like all your teammates, bro. Like because when they see. Because what's the ultimate goal? It's to get to the league, right? That's what the goal is. So when you see a guy you were so close with, staying in the hotels with, traveling with, practicing every single day, with them every single day, like you touched like a lot of those guys, man, like to be like motivated them in a positive way. And not to mention, like we just talked about like all the community stuff. Like you do a lot of stuff in the community, bro. Like at Beacon, I saw you do like before the draft, you were doing a lot of backpack giveaways and stuff like that. Like that's for me, bro. Like that's really like what like I loved about you. Like I know you can hoop, I know you can do all that, but like you a good dude, and like you could tell like the stuff that you do, like that's gonna take you further in life than like this hoop. You know what I mean? Because when people say that, like for me, bro, like that's what like really like and look, a lot of people probably didn't like me, right? But when I really started getting involved in community, like that's what really brought people to me more so than basketball. You know what I mean? So like you have that's what you have, bro. Like I can see you doing that in Utah, like with the NBA Cares. Like you're gonna be a bigger part of that, and that's awesome, bro. Like you motivated a lot of these dudes just because of how you are as a person. You know what I'm saying? So, Prime Steakhouse or Dinosaur Barbecue?
I'm gonna have to go with Prime. Every time we had a recruit in town and we had a recruitment dinner, I'm like, I'm in there. Like I'm going. That steak is really good. Honestly, everything they have in that. What's that dessert they got? What is it called?
Man, they got some dessert, but I'm trying to get you a sponsorship. That's all.
Hey, I'll take that too. So Prime, holla at me.
That's a fact. All right, so let's talk about Utah a little bit. Like, what are some of your expectations this year for yourself and your team, and what has it been like? Getting these early workouts in. I mean, you playing with one of the best young guards in the league. I mean, I'll say one of the best guards. I don't care about his age. And Donovan Mitchell, and then you mentioned Joe Ingles. I love him, bro. Like his game, he's just a poise. Exactly. He knows how to play. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are some of your expectations for yourself? And talk to me about, how it's been early on with these guys.
Right. I think from myself, expectation-wise, I just want to learn as much as I can, We didn't have any summer league. We didn't have any, extra time to do things. So all of us rookies, we're kind of behind everybody with, learning concepts and plays and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just trying to learn as much as I can. Just take it all in. And then like there'll be times in practices where Donovan will take me to the side, or Joe or Boeheim will take me to the side and tell me, this is how we do things here. I don't know what you're used to, but just make it a conversation. Don't make me look silly. Just make it more of a conversation. I really appreciate that from those guys. They're helping me out. They get me through it. And that's the one thing about this team is that there's no egos. Like no one cares that there's no egos, So we all have one goal in winning games. So it's just like we're all willing to put everything, sacrifice everything just to win games. And I love that. When I get in the game, just to make my shots, be just disruptors on defense, be in my spots. and just control the controllables. You know, that I learned that from GMAC. You know, he's always been someone to say like, just control the things you can control, and that's how hard you play, how much energy you bring to the table. So I always want to do that, and then just, you know, try to make my shots and just defend. So, you know, I think that's my expectations coming in, and also just learning as much as I can.
So, what has the coaching staff been telling you? What are their expectations for you? What do they want you to do? What is your role on this team?
Oh, I think, you know, in terms of my game, you know, just more simplifying my game. You know, they see me at Syracuse be a guy who's able to play off the ball and make shots, and then being somebody who played on the ball to make tough shots and put the ball in their hand and play off pick and roll. But, you know, with this team, I'm looking to be more that corner guy on a corner skip pass to play off a closeout and get to the paint and make something happen, or, you know, shoot the ball and make shots. Just be a player. You know, they want me to be a player. They know what I could do. That's one thing I really appreciate about Coach Snyder. You know, he lets me play, lets me be myself, and I appreciate that a lot, because a lot of organizations and coaches don't like that. But he's let me be myself, and just, you know, making sure I defend. That's one thing that, you know how it is that all Syracuse guys have a struggle with, is playing defense and coming out of his own.
The stigma,
yeah, the stigma. So, you know, just making sure I defend, and I'm bringing energy, and I'm just doing the right thing. You know, so it's not really much to it. Just, you know, just being myself.
And like you said, that's kind of rare in the league. Like,
Exactly.
a lot of guys, they're talented, but they can get put in an organization where they don't even get an opportunity, right? And obviously, Utah gonna give you the opportunity. You just signed, I forgot to mention in the beginning, but you signed a 2-year deal, so they love you, right? I mean, how many second-round picks? Like, a lot of second-round picks, you got to make the team.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You got to make the team in training camp. So you signing that 2-year deal really goes to show, you know, how much confidence, you know, Coach Snyder and the whole organization has for you. And bro, I see, I mean, you're going to have a 10-plus year career in the NBA. And I think Utah is one of those teams where you can come in there and come alongside Donovan Mitchell and really be that guy who could really give you that spark, that other guard. Because they need that, right? Because it's like it's him, Joe, like those are, but they need that other guard. Mike Conley, like, he's distributing, but he's older, right? He's going to control the pace and control the tempo. But you're a guy who can come in, get out in transition, knock down deep threes. Because you hit that last three, that was beyond NBA range, the one that you hit. So I love the fit for you, bro. I think you're going to have a lot of success there for sure.
Thank you, bro.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that.
Last question, I'm going to let you get out of here, man. I don't know if you've been watching any of the Cuse basketball this year.
I have.
So what do you think about this year? What are your expectations for the team and, you know, for some of the guys?
You know, well, from their last game, they looked really good. That was a really fun game to watch. You know, that was kind of the Cuse basketball, you know, me and all the fans were looking forward to seeing. You know, everyone offensively contributed. Our defense was moving. I like a lot of the young guys, honestly. I like Kadari a lot. I like Woody a lot. Even Allen, the new transfer, and I like him a lot. You know, guys who play with a bunch of confidence and just are really, really talented. So I like those guys a lot. And then I like the leadership I've seen a lot from Buddy and Marek, especially. You know, he's been very vocal on the court from what I've seen. And just what I heard talking to, you know, I talked to Kyle a lot. And he's been trying to be vocal. You know, his Slovakian accent, so he's trying his best. But, you know, he's trying. I remember him coming in, being this skinny little Slovakian kid, to see where he's at now. I'm super happy for him, and I hope he just keeps having the year he has the year he wants to have, because he deserves it. But yeah, I'm really, really excited for the rest of the year. These guys, I think they're gonna make a lot of noise in the ACC. People are sleeping on us per usual, how it is, but you know, I'm pretty confident in those guys, how they're gonna, you know, bring the fire to the ACC.
Absolutely. I think Marek might have a chance to get a look in the league.
For sure. Easily.
Yeah. 6'10", pushes it past the ball. It'll tighten up that J a little bit, but I think he'll be all right.
For sure.
E, man, I appreciate you coming on, bro. I mean, you look good in that Jazz sweater for sure, bro. And you're gonna have plenty of years of Cuse fans watching you in the NBA, man. So continued success, and I'm definitely gonna stay in touch. And you know, I'm always rooting for you, bro.
Appreciate you, bro. Thanks for having me, bro. I was just a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing it. So thank you for having me.
My guy, appreciate you, bro.